What is going on, everybody? Stocks for Studs back with another video. Before we start, I am not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. Let me move the mic closer for this one because this is gonna be this is gonna be an important talk. All right. So we're here to talk about psychology alone, and one thing that I'm really gonna hone in on is losses because many traders have no idea how to take losses. So I'm gonna describe that right now. And I think the best way to describe it is to show you how my day went today. Here we are. This was the one trade I took today. We respected a 15-minute bullish fair value gap. My bias was bullish for the day. Clearly it was wrong. Had an SMT on the 15 and 1 minute. Had a 2022 model with this fair value gap. Gets respected. We close above. I enter. I am, let's see here, about 3 ticks, even less from my TP1, reverses, and I get taken out. Great entry, great model, almost hit TP, but I get taken out for a loss. And why is this? Well, the truth of the matter is, it's because trading doesn't always go your way. So we'll close this up, and now we'll discuss how to deal with losses. I don't want to characterize my days as losses or wins, depending on how much money I make. So, I still made a lot this week. So, although I ended my week, it's Friday, although I ended my week in the red P&L wise, I was up P&L wise all week. So, that's not really a worry for me because I know using my strategy with its win rate and using my risk management, I'm going to be up over time. So, I'm not worried about that. What I'm worried about is many people associate their P&Ls with green and red days when they should be associating it with their habits. And was today a green day for me? Many people would say, no, you lost money. You were 0 for 1. You took a trade and you lost it. No, it was definitely a green day for me for 3 reasons. One, I stayed patient, meaning I took this trade and, I didn't take anything prior. I waited for my setup and my setup only. 2, I got off the charts for the rest of the day. I didn't revenge trade. And 3, I didn't over leverage or over trade or anything like that. I stuck to my model. I took my loss, and I said, I'm done. I'm done for the day. That is a fantastic day, and I'm very proud of myself for how I did psychology-wise being able to do that. So, that just goes to show, many people associate green and red days with how much money they're making or not making. And that's why trading is so tough because, almost every job that you'll ever have, the income will be very locked in. It'll be what you're given at the start of the job. They'll tell you maybe you'll get a bonus or something like that. Trading is fully dependent on you. It's a you versus you game, and that's what makes it so much more difficult because you know that, if a trade doesn't go your way, it really isn't about the P&L on that trade. It's about how you adjust to increase your P&L in the future because you can do everything right like I did. I had a really good setup today. I waited for my setup. I was patient. I was disciplined, and it still didn't go my way. Does it matter? No, because look what's happened in the past for this week. I've done that every single time, and overall, I was green on the week. Why? Because I followed my habits. I had really good habits. I had really good psychology. I had a really good mental, and overall, it ended up paying me out in the end. Does that mean that it's going to pay me out every day? Obviously not. Look what happened today. But overall, because I trusted myself, because I trusted my strategy, I ended up being in the green P&L wise and habit wise, and I guarantee you that is like a correlation coefficient. The better your habits are, the more your P&L is going to rise along with it. Sorry. So you really got to look at it like, oh man, I lost this trade today, and my friends are banking, my friends are up on the day. Like, you cannot look at that and be like, what the fuck is wrong with me? I can't trade. I'm such a shit trader. No, you have your setup. And people trade millions of different setups. There's support and resistance, there's supply and demand, there's trend line traders, although that's fucking horrible. And I trade ICT and so do many other people. So it's not really about what you trade. It's about, okay, does this strategy work? Which you should know from back testing and from researching. Does this strategy work? I know that mine works over time. Will this strategy pay me out if I have strong risk management? How is my RR? Obviously, it was good. I also had a very good win rate this week, but overall, if I lose 250 on a trade and then I make 210 for the next 2, or I make more on the next 2, then I know that my risk management is pretty solid because even if I take a loss, I can make it back over time. You know, am I really am I risking the right amount? Am I over leveraging? Am I over trading? I don't even trade a full NQ contract. I have 20 funded accounts and I trade less than a full contract on every single one of them. I trade 8 micros and I take 6 at TP1, and then I change my stop loss to break even, and I let 2 run to the highest draw on liquidity. And then my stop loss is 16 ticks, which is 250 per account. So obviously, if I lose, it's like, oh man, I just lost 5K in a day. But it doesn't really matter because then I can make 8, 10K the next day. I can make 20K the next day after that. The losses are just little bumps in the road. So if you keep on going, you're gonna be like, oh, ooh, 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 and you're gonna keep rising up over time. A lot of people like to go, ooh, and then they dig themselves deeper because they can't deal with losing. Is definitely a very different thing. Trading is like nothing that you probably have ever experienced before because it's all dependent on you. A lot of people end up thinking, if I lose and, maybe this isn't for me, maybe I'm not good. And that could not be further from the truth. If you lose while following your habits, that means you're a good ass trader because you know when to stop. You have a good psychology. You have everything that you need to become a disciplined trader. Why would you then stop there? If you followed your habits, red days happen to everybody. The greatest traders in the world do not have 100% win rates. In fact, many of them, a handful of them, don't even have 60% win rates. Their risk management is just that good that they take really good winners and very little losers. So, for example, me, and I say this all the time, technically speaking, I'm not that great with ICT. I'm not bad or anything. I think I know what I'm talking about. But I am not the greatest with technicals or with like reading market structure or anything like that. Like I'm pretty solid, but overall my problem my biggest strength is definitely not my chart reading or anything like that. My biggest strength is my psychology because I'm able to identify things and be patient and be fine with taking a trade or not taking a trade, and that's what has added up over time. So you could be a fine trader. You could learn ICT in like a month or two. You could find your strategy. You could back test it for a few months on paper trade, demo trade, whatever you want to do. And then you could hop in a funded. And if you just scale and go small, win by win, instead of going for these big shots, you will without a doubt pass a funded and get payouts because it's really just like that. You realize that, yes, prop firm fundeds are designed to make you lose. But if your max loss is 200 a day, you have to lose 10 times in a row with no winners at all. If your max loss is 200, walk the fuck away. If you take one trade, first trade of the day, and you lose it, get up and enjoy the rest of your day. That's what I did. My trade today was at 9:57. It's 30 minutes into market open, not even. And I went off and I enjoyed the rest of my day. I went to the gym, I played football, hung out with my girlfriend. I did everything other than trade today because I finished. I did my job. I got to clock out early, and I had a green day while doing it. Not because of the P&L, but because of the habits. So, a lot of people like to associate, as I've said multiple times, they'll associate a good trader with their P&L. If you are truly a good trader, your P&L will be reflective of your habits. So the better that your habits are, the more likely your P&L is going to be at a higher point because you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. If you know everything there is to know about ICT, oh my god, there's a fair value gap here and it's going to respect this, and then we have higher time frame and we're in a bullish market maker model, everything like that. If you know everything there is to know about ICT, but you don't know how to manage risk, you gamble, you get mad after you lose and you start trading anything that you want to see happen, then how the hell are you expecting to be profitable as a trader? 90% of this game, or 80 or whatever you want to call it, is mental. And if you take out 90% of your game, how are you expecting to thrive off 10%? I personally don't take more than 1 to 2 trades a day. If my first trade is a great winner, like a lot of money, then I will literally go off and enjoy the rest of my day, and I will be very happy about it. If it's a solid winner, then maybe I'll come back for PM and see what I want to do, see if I'm fine with taking a loser and aiming that out, or if I'd just rather get some more profit for the day. 1 to 2 trades is all it takes. And I only look for my strategy. I don't care about anything else. I see these Instagram videos and YouTube videos where people are always trying to talk about new strategies, new stuff to learn. And it's the dumbest shit ever because it really does not matter, I like overall people try to give you these courses and give you these strategies and just tell you, oh, you got to buy this, you got to do this, you got to do this. If this happens, then you got to buy or sell. Find a strategy that works for you and then literally skip any video that tries to tell you otherwise, because it doesn't matter. If you have a strategy, why care about anybody else's? I like to talk to people and see what their strategies are, but I won't be taking notes. I'll just be like, oh, okay, so this does that. Or I'm not going to take it and apply it to myself because I already have my system and I know that it works. So why would I change anything about it? A lot of people are so antsy and jumpy to get at the next best thing. What's the next thing that's going to raise my win rate? You already have something that has a good win rate. The reason that it's not working for you is because you're risking too much, you're trading too much, or you're just a dumbass. Psychologically speaking, you're not in the game, and that is the very large majority of the game. So, if you want to succeed as a trader, you cannot stop looking at things, or you have to stop looking at things as, how does this candle move? How is the price moving? How is, fair value gaps happening? You can't look at it solely through a technical lens. You have to look at it majority through psychology. Do I trade today? Do I take this trade? Is it following my strategy? How much do I risk on this trade? What do I risk on every trade? What am I fine with losing on this trade? How many times do I trade a month? Anything like that. For example, next week, check this out. Next week on the Forex Factory calendar, it is currently July 20th, July 21st, or July 22nd, Monday. We have no news at all. Will I be trading on Monday? No. July 23rd, Tuesday, we have no red folder news at all. Will I be trading Tuesday? No. Wednesday, we got 9:45. So, I will not trade until 10 a.m. on Wednesday. So, I get 2 days off this week, Monday and Tuesday, to collect myself and wait for volume to actually enter into the market. Why? Because I'm not going to go and check my setup when there's no volume, no volatility, and no buyers or sellers in the market. I know that a red folder news event or some sort of volatile thing has to happen in order to get some movement and some volume in the market. So if Monday and Tuesday are off and there's no news until 9:45, then I guess I'm trading after 9:45 Wednesday, So that has to be how you approach every single week. When am I going to trade? Why am I going to trade? Why am I not going to trade? Etc. You need to figure out what your schedule is, and you need to apply that to every single week, every single day of trading. There should be multiple times where you don't trade at all because it doesn't fit your rules. You need to establish rules. For example, this week was 5 days. I traded 5 times, once a day on average. And 2 of those I don't even think I traded. Maybe I traded once 0, 1, 1, 2, like around that or something like that. I didn't trade on one of my days. Why? Because I didn't see a setup. There was I didn't understand why I would take anything in these conditions, so I walked away and I enjoyed my day. You will make so much more money overall if you only trade on days that you think you're supposed to, rather than trading every single day. And you may be like, oh, but you're trading less days, so there's less opportunities to make money. Yes, but if you're going into the market knowing that conditions aren't the best, then you're basically walking into a loss. And I think every trader would agree, I'd rather have $0 on the day than minus 300, minus 400, minus $1,000 on the day. Losers suck, and there's no doubt about it. But when you know that you could have not lost that money and instead just not traded, that's even worse. So, yes, losers may suck, but you need to use it always as a learning experience. For example, there are 2 types of losers. One, where you completely disobey your rules, you don't do what you're supposed to, you bullshit, you take a bad trade and you take the loss for it. And there's some subcategories. You take like a strict loss, or you take a loose loss where you just keep adding on to it. That's the worst type of loss, where you don't follow your system and you pay for it by adding on or like over leveraging or over trading to get it back, and the losses keep toppling on. That is a bad loss. Then the second type of loss is like the loss I had today. I did everything I was supposed to. I did my system. I followed my rules. I stayed patient. I stayed disciplined by not taking another trade after losing, and it just didn't go my way. And that happens. That's the difficulty of trading, but it happens. Losses are such a difficult thing for many beginner traders to consume because they think they're doing something wrong. You're not doing something wrong if you lose, if everybody loses. If the top traders lose, how are you expected to be perfect and better than the top traders, especially if you're just starting out? If you're just starting out and you're feeling discouraged about losing, how in the hell are you going to grow in any way if you don't lose? And that goes for trading, that goes for anything outside of trading, that goes for overall life. If you want to grow, you have to be able to take and accept failure in any field that you are trying to go into. So, like I said, always top traders lose, bottom traders lose, middle traders lose, everybody loses. But the reason why some traders develop higher than others is because they react to the losses differently. The bottom traders who never grow react to losses in anger, they over leverage, they overtrade, they dig themselves in deeper holes. The bigger traders maybe lower the risk, maybe understand, okay, did I do my habits? What did I do? They take it as a learning opportunity rather than a punishment. You should not punish yourself for every loss you take, especially if you have good habits, all right? So if you have a losing or red day P&L wise, look back, check, and think, okay, did I do everything I was supposed to? If your answer is yes, then congratulations, you had a great day, and you can go and you can get it back, because over time, that is going to add up. If you do what you're supposed to do and follow your rules every single day, then why the fuck would one P&L day matter? Aren't you trying to make as much money as possible? You should think as far in the future as possible. If you follow your habits every single day, then one day should not matter overall, because overall you're going to be successful. So that's all I got to say about losing for right now, and how losing is actually one of the most beautiful parts of trading, because it is what will develop you into a winner as long as you have the right mindset. So make sure to adapt, find your losers, and treat them as winners, because they can really get you there in a hurry if you learn to use them as a valuable lesson and add that to your next trade, your next few trades, your future of trading. Just stay consistent, stay following your rules, and don't listen to any outside noise. It's a you versus you game. So if you can learn how to take a loss, and instead of feeling sorry for yourself, if you can develop from that loss, then you're going to be golden in the future of trading, and this is the right occupation for you. Have a good one.